Hey y'all, it's Miss A. Today we are going to be looking at inequalities. We're going to be graphing them on a number line and then also solving inequalities, exactly how we solved one-step equations yesterday. There's no difference. Only difference is there's a less than or greater than symbol instead of an equal sign. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, let's review what these symbols actually mean. So this symbol right here is the less than symbol. This one is the greater than symbol. We have less than or equal to, and then greater than or equal to. Now, whenever we're graphing these, each of these has a different circle on the number line. So if we were graphing an inequality that had the less than or greater than symbol, we would put what is called an open circle. Because what this means is that it cannot be whatever number this circle is at. It has to be less than or it has to be greater than. It can't equal that exact number. But over here, when we have the less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we put what's known as a closed circle, which is just a circle shaded in, because that means it can equal the number that it's sitting on the number line. So open circle means it cannot be that number. Closed circle means it can be that number. So let's do some examples. Right here we have x is less than 2. So we're going to go to number 2. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are all equaling 1. You have to be careful. All right, so 1, 2. So this is less than. So we're going to put an open circle. I'm going to put it above just so we can see a little bit better. Open circle, and then this is the less than symbol. So less than always points to the back. Okay, so we can put that here too. So when it's less than, the arrow goes backwards. When it's greater than, the arrow goes to the right. Again, less than, the arrow goes to the left, and greater than, the arrow goes to the right. Sorry, that one kind of went over the thing. Because everything, when it's the greater than symbol, everything greater goes to the right on the number line, and when it's less than, everything less goes to the left. All right, number 2, y is greater than negative 3. So we need to find negative 3. So 0, negative 1, here's negative 5, so they are increasing by 1. So negative 1, 2, 3. We're going to put an open circle because there's no line. That means it cannot equal negative 3. And this symbol is greater than, so we point to the right. Also notice how your inequality sign points in the same direction as your arrow. All right, here's number 3. We have a is less than or equal to negative 4. So first of all, find negative 4 to be right here. And then negative 4, it says it can equal, has that or equal to part. So we're going to put a closed circle because it has that line. And then it says a has to be less than. So less than always points to the back. Again, notice how your inequality sign matches the same direction as your arrow. And number 4, we have b is greater than or equal to 5. So we're going to put a closed circle on 5 because it has the equal to part. So above 5, put a closed circle. And this symbol is saying b must be greater than, so we are going to point to the right. And again, your inequality sign arrow matches the arrow that you drew. All right, so just as a review, it says when graphing inequalities, open circles are used for the signs. So open circle means this right here. So those are used for the signs less than and greater than. And then closed circle, the shaded in one, are used for the signs less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. All right, I want y'all to attempt these on your own. See if you can graph them on your own and see how well you do. So pause the video and do it on your own. All right, so now that you've done those, let's go over them really quickly. We've got c is greater than negative 6. So negative 6 would be here right after 5. We're going to put an open circle. It's saying c has to be greater, so we point to the right. X is less than or equal to 4. Closed circle on 4 because it has the or equal to part. And then x is less than, so it points to the left. D is greater than or equal to 0. Put a closed circle at 0. D is greater, so it points to the right. And we'll do one more. We've got y is less than negative 5. We've got negative 5 here. It's an open circle because it's not equal to. And then less than points backwards. And that's it. Graphing inequalities are really easy. Just make sure you pay attention to what inequality sign you have to know where to draw your arrow, and then if it's an open or closed circle. Remember, a line is closed, no line is open. The last thing we're going to touch just really quickly is solving inequalities. And we solve inequalities the same exact way we solve them for equations. So we're not going to do all of the different operations like we did yesterday. I'm just going to show you how they're the same. All right, so yesterday I taught you how to, or reviewed how to solve a one-step equation like we have here. X plus 6 is equal to 2. So we would have to draw our line, circle our variable. We want that variable to be alone. Right now the 6 is with it and it is being added, so the inverse would be to subtract. Remember, we're doing the opposite operation. And we must do it to both sides. They cancel, leaving me with x equals. Now these signs are different. That's a positive, that's a negative. So I'm going to subtract to get 4, and then keep the sign of the bigger number, which is 6, making it negative 4. So when we're graphing a equation, which we didn't do yesterday, we're just going to put a solid dot at that number. So negative 4 is here. We're going to put a solid dot, no arrow, because it's saying x can only equal negative 4. And in inequality, we solve the exact same way. The only difference is it doesn't have an equal sign, it has an inequality sign. So, light turned off. Sorry about that. Come on. Couldn't get it to turn back on. All right, so we're going to draw our line through our inequality sign this time. We're going to circle our variable. And then right now, again, the 6 is with the x. It's being added. So the inverse would be to subtract from both sides. Always do it from both. All right, and then your 6's cancel. We are left with x. Your inequality sign stays exactly the same. It's not going to change. So it's less than or equal to. And then again, this is the same problem as earlier. So our answer is negative 4. Same exact problem, it just was an inequality sign instead of an equation. So now we're still going to put a circle above that number, and it's still going to be closed because it has the or equal to part. So here's our closed circle. But now, because it's an inequality, we're going to draw an arrow. This is saying x is less than negative 4. So less than always goes back. Because an inequality can have multiple solutions. If I have the inequality x is greater than 0, x could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so on and so on. It can be anything that is greater than the number 0. So there's a lot of solutions. If I had an equation, x equals 0, there's only one solution. X has to equal the number 0. That's why we only put a dot and we don't put an arrow with an equation. All right, but that's it. Just remember, when we're solving inequalities, we do the same exact thing as equations, do the inverse operation. If y'all have any questions or need help on your assignment, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm available on Zoom. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.